god.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I will say like, okay, you can cut that out.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
We don't drink coffee and smoke weed at the same time.
What about you?
What about me?
Yeah, you learn? Like, do you think it'd be possible for me to stay in the Netherlands?
So if I just like, I said like, oh yeah, I went to Korea, and they were like, what? And I'm like, my brother is almost 2 meters, my dad is 193.
Oh my
My
god.
sister's also above 180, and my mom. Oh, and LG, of course.
There are a lot of questions, like tons of questions.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so first question, basically they know a lot of things about the Netherlands that I didn't even know. Do Dutch people eat a lot of cheese?
Is that the question? That
Yeah,
we eat a
that
lot
is
of
the question.
cheese?
3 out of 10 people, they ask about cheese.
I think we indeed eat a lot of cheese, but me personally, I don't like cheese.
Really?
I only like cheese when it's like molten over pizza.
The next question is also about cheese.
Okay.
What kind of cheese is famous and popular?
Normal cheese is Gouda,
Yeah.
or Edammer cheese. Like that is the typical Dutch cheese, and that's like what we eat like on a daily basis. We have several, of course.
Is it true that teenagers in the Netherlands can all DJ like all Koreans learn taekwondo?
Oh!
Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that it's quite common to be a DJ as a hobby here. Yeah. Not only teenage people, but also older.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's quite common. We have a lot of amateur DJs as well.
So
like,
interesting.
Yeah.
What about you?
What about me?
Yeah. You learn?
I never do that. No. It's not my thing. You know, singing is my thing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
I think in here in the Netherlands it's quite a popular hobby.
I heard that red light districts are common on the streets in the Netherlands, but there's some negative views in Korea. What about the Dutch?
Generally spoken, people don't really like it.
Oh, because?
Or when I don't know. It's just like it is there,
Uh-huh.
but it's kind of ashamed if you go there. Like
It's kind of embarrassing when you
that's
go
interesting.
there.
Because I think a lot of people, I mean international people, they think of Dutch people as most like open-minded.
yeah, I guess you know, it's, how do I explain? Like, I think people are really individualistic. So I think like if you want to go there, but I wouldn't be proud. I'm not proud when I walk across the red light district like, oh yes, nice. No, I don't like it. But you know, people have to decide for themselves where they go.
Yeah,
And
right.
I guess that's the open-minded thing about Dutch people. Like, we're very individualistic, which has good and bad sides to it. But
Yeah.
one good side about it is that people care for themselves and make decisions for themselves what they want.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who cares? And the next question is the tallest country in the world. And I wonder how tall they really are.
Well, I am 1 meter and 71 centimeters. When I was in Korea, and especially when I was wearing my heels, I could look
that's
above
crazy.
everyone. But in my country, I am a little like 2-3 centimeters above average, because the average woman here is 168.
And male?
184.
Wow, that's pretty
But
tall.
I am from a very tall family.
Yeah, really.
You remember? My brother is almost 2 meters. My dad is 193.
Oh
My
my
sister's
god.
also above 180, and my mom, she is 178 or something.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm the small one
Oh
at
my
home.
god, you're like a baby in
And
your
I'm not
family.
even-
How can they be like so tall?
I don't know, because when you go to like castles, we have a lot of medieval castles in the countryside. And when you go there, you see that the doors are so small and tiny, So people tend to be very small, like hundreds of years ago. So between hundreds of years ago and now, we somehow got very tall. I don't know why.
How Dutch people celebrate King's Day?
I think it's one of the best celebrations of the year because people are going crazy.
Oh my.
The funny thing about Dutch people is that we always have a saying that is like act normal, because then you're already acting crazy enough. That's like a saying. But when we have King's Day, people are acting like crazy. Get out the way. Get out the way. Literally crazy. Yeah, so we're all like, so many people are dressed orange in the national color.
Oh, that's so cute.
There are lots of festivals, but like so many festivals with a lot of DJs, like a lot. That's kind of what young people do, but you also have like a lot of markets where people sell stuff. So a lot of people are selling all their crap on King's Day.
Unique culture.
I think you can tell better than me because you're like
honestly,
the outsider.
Honestly, I can answer to this question.
Yeah, I think you should answer this question.
They're so down to earth. They're always try to be honest, and they're so straightforward when they're talking about something, like anything. Yeah. They're so realistic as well.
I agree with that. Yeah. Generally spoken, yeah.
Please recommend a tourist attraction or a good restaurant in the Netherlands.
Well, I really like my own town. Yeah, I would like to say, as a Dutch person, please visit Amsterdam for one day, but then please move on to other cities, because there are so many old, beautiful, beautiful cities that look like Amsterdam as well, or have another unique, beautiful way of, well, there are just a lot of beautiful cities. Like, we visited a lot of unique places together when you were here. For example, my own town is very old and it looks really like Amsterdam in the city center as well, like with the canals and everything. But also Utrecht, remember? Utrecht was also very beautiful.
That's my favorite city.
And it's less crowded than Amsterdam. When everything is normal again, I would recommend you to go to Utrecht, because Utrecht is very lovely. It's in the middle of the country. It's very easy to go to by train, by bus, by car, everything. It's also big. You can go shopping. There are a lot of old buildings. It's very beautiful. A lot of museums. Which we don't visit because you don't like them.
I'm not a huge fan of museums. And a lot of people, they are curious of the fact that a lot of Dutch people, they're so good at English. So how can that be possible? Because you have your own language, but my Dutch friends as well, they're so good at English like you. So how can that be possible?
Well, I think because English is very integrated in our daily life.
Yeah.
First of all, we are very young when we get in touch with the language.
Yeah.
Even at primary school already. So when you're like 4 or 5 years old, children already start to hear English. And we also are quite good at German, for example. Dutch people are generally good in languages, I guess, because we are a small country, so we also have to trade a lot with other countries. So we are used to adapting.
Especially in Amsterdam, literally everyone, they were speaking in English.
Yeah, I think that's because in Amsterdam, there are so many tourists that they rather start in English than in Dutch.
Well, it's my question. I have no idea and never learned of Dutch. Like, do you think it'd be possible for me to stay in the Netherlands?
Yeah, definitely. I must say it depends though where you live. Like if you live in the big cities like The Hague, Amsterdam, Utrecht, Rotterdam, it's definitely possible. At the countryside, for example, the side where my grandparents live, where we also went to, you remember, in the east of the Netherlands. If you live in small villages, it's possible, but it's harder.
Does the Dutch people really smoke weed while drinking coffee at a cafe?
No, we don't drink coffee and smoke weed at the same time. Okay, but I must say, I think the confusion is because in the Netherlands, coffee shops are the place where you buy weed, not where you drink coffee. They don't sell coffee in a coffee shop. It's just like a weed shop, but we call it a coffee shop. In other countries, when you say like a coffee shop, it's a place where you drink coffee. But in the Netherlands, when you go to a coffee shop, you're gonna buy weed.
Oh my god, now I get the real meaning of the coffee shop. Okay, the next question. It is famous for its windmills, tulips, and cheese. And I wonder if there are tulips, windmills, and cheese everywhere you go.
Well, I can't say it's not true because indeed we have a lot of windmills. It's a place where a lot of like just buses full of tourists go there because Kinderdijk is a place where a lot of windmills are like built in a row. Windmills are everywhere in the country because they had several functions in the Netherlands.
Are there a lot of Koreans living in the Netherlands?
Oh, I have no clue.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I barely saw any Koreans in the Netherlands.
Oh, it's definitely not a lot of Koreans, I guess. We do have a lot of Chinese people here. Japanese, I don't know. But also a lot of people from Morocco, Turkey, a lot of European countries.
And some people were curious about Dutch people's common thoughts on Koreans.
Oh, wow. I can't speak for like common thoughts because I don't know. In the Netherlands, people mix up North and South Korea.
That's true. A lot of Europeans, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And they also sometimes think that South Korea is not very safe because of that. So if I just like, I said like, oh yeah, I went to Korea, and they were like, what? And I'm like, South Korea, like the safe part.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, oh. Generally spoken, people do know the difference. Like, but sometimes they do know the difference, but they just mix up. Like if north, south, south, north. We also learned about the Korean War in history, for example. What we also know from Korea is, okay, I'm gonna say it in Korean, Samsung.
A Samsung.
And the car, like Hyundai.
Yeah.
So I will just like surprise all the Koreans with my Dutch pronunciation of these words. Because we call Samsung, Samsung. And Hyundai, we call that Hyundai.
Hyundai?
Yeah.
Sounds like Japanese. It sounds like Japanese for me.
Oh, really?
Hyundai?
Yeah. Oh, and LG, of course.
What is the food that Dutch people like?
Well, depends. Because we are so international, we have so many cultures. We also have so many different restaurants to go to. I think what is now like trendy to eat is, apart from our own dishes, like our Dutch, we eat a lot of Italian. We eat sushi. Sushi is very trendy. But also Spanish, Mexican, Chinese. Yeah, of course we have people that smoke weed on a daily basis, but like people here just don't really care because it's legal, and it's not like really like hyped up or anything. Maybe between teenagers or so, but for me, weed is not like really. It's just not very like excited. It's just like weed. It's not really like, oh my god, let's do weed. No, we're just like, you can do what you want, but we don't really care.
Your tips on keeping long distance friendship with me?
I'm just calling you.
I'm just calling you.
Yeah.
Because we miss each other.
Yeah. And I also think a tip for long distance is that you really try to, when it's possible, to see each other.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just so much fun to see each other, because especially because if someone is from another country, show me first before you put it somewhere. And people always think that we're smoking a lot, but we're not smoking at all. Because it's not really a big deal for us.